Good night, good evening, good morning, good whatever other part of the day there is. People that are here, I imagine most people are probably either in Teching stream or Dustin stream. But yes, the Sunday stream has arrived. I found some good copyright-free classical music for us to vibe with. Boy. Why I gotta stream when Dustin's streaming? Because this is really the only time of the week that I can stream with my schedule that I want to stream. Sundays. Hell yeah. Sorry, Lucy. What's Dustin talking about? I didn't really see the topic of his stream. It was something Dustin like racism or sexism or something. Oh, the comments have eyes. Never mind. Good night from Brazil. Yo, Alor. Or is it Alaor? Alaor. D Jams. 8 Pawns. Nice to see you around again. Ulrich. How you doing? Hopefully you're having a good day. My day's been pretty good so far. The perfect Sunday for me. Not really doing much. But I have to make big decisions coming soon in the next couple weeks for me life. Life stuff. Hey man, saw Sanji's retweets and couldn't help but crack a smile. That's what they're there for, man. That's what they're there for. God Sanji makes everyone smile. Was about to go to sleep, but then I got a notification. Hello, how's your weekend, brother? It's been pretty good. I had a very weird Saturday, and I'm gonna tell you guys about it because I've never had this experience before. So while I was sleeping Saturday, I had a very lucid dream where it was like I was solving paranormal murderous activity, and I woke up from my dream, and it was so interesting to me that I wanted to see if I could fall back asleep and pick up where my dream left off. And then when I fell asleep, it was like a save point in a video game. Like I loaded back into my dream. And I kept waking up, so I kept trying to go back to sleep to see if I can catch a bit more of that dream because it was so interesting. So I slept literally all day Saturday trying to like chase this dream. It was very, very weird. Yo, what's up, Emilio? How's my PhD and Oro Jackson fanboyism doing? I am top tier in terms of finding stupid shit. I got people that find stupid shit for me sometimes, because we all laugh about it. Stiffy, hit him with the blicky, Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but do you think these swirly eyes are related to cursed swords? Oh. Oh, yeah. That's been a common theory for a while, Hassan. I feel like a lot of people... It's either that or, like, there's only really a couple explanations so far within the fandom that's, like, meta. Yo, what's up, Key? Mert, good music, yeah. I just typed in copyright-free classical music, and this playlist came up, and I skipped the first 3. And I found some good ones. That I managed to return to the dream. Yeah, it was really weird. Every time I went back to sleep Saturday, I actually picked up where my dream left off. I've never had that happen before, because usually what happens with me is that I never remember my dreams unless they're really fucked up. Like, that's the only time I remember my dream. It's weird. So I was trying to see if I could just, like, I don't know, it was like a waste of my day, but during the time, I felt like I had to do it. It was weird. I don't know. It was like some odd experience. Maybe you guys have had something like that before, but lucid dreaming, man. It's out there. Let's see. Alaor asks, would you rather if Zoro got the Nidai Katetsu or a new sword made for him during this arc? I would prefer a new sword to give Zoro originality. I don't even think the Nidai Katetsu would even be a good fit for Zoro, to be honest. If he were to get any Katetsu, I would rather him get the highest Katetsu instead of just second. Because if Zoro gets a sword now, it's like the swords that Zoro gets from here should probably be his last. You smell a new isekai? You remember how, like, isekais got out to a good start, and then the second half of the first season of Sword Art Online happened, and isekais were never the same again? Only Ray Zero has managed to make isekais even remotely enjoyable, because Ray Zero is a really good show, but all of the isekais are just absolute nonsense, man. Yo, what's up, Kay? Once I learned that I could control what happened in my nightmares, my dreams have been somewhat lackluster. I have never been able to control anything in my dreams. Like, in my dreams, I don't have that self-awareness. So what's the stream about? The stream is going to be about next chapter, this chapter, real life stuff. That's basically what I have planned as of right now, in case, I don't know, maybe something else happens. Drizzt with the hips and music again. Hey, it's copyright-free classical music. I'm down. And I actually used to listen to classical music as a main form of music. Back when I was younger, I had multiple classical music CDs that I would listen to. This is kind of like dark, but I remember when I was a little kid, I was like, oh, I must have been like 10, maybe 11. But I had a hamster named Shadow that I had bought from a Petco, I think, or a PetSmart. And we brought it home. And Shadow, I didn't know at the time, was pregnant with like 6 little hamsters. And she ate all of them. And when I was a little kid and I saw that happening, I was like, what are you doing? No! And like, for some reason, like, I was listening to like a dark classical music piece during that time period. So it's like, it's stained in my memory. Jacob asks, what if Nidai and Sandai forge into one and it becomes Zoro's own legendary sword? I don't even know if that's a thing, you know? Like, to do that, you would literally have to break all of the swords down to their base elements and then reforge them, which I don't even think that's a thing. Because, at least in the stereotypical sense, it's usually like, if you're forging a sword, it's brand new, it's made from a special material, or it's like broken and it's like the Narsil from Lord of the Rings, you know? Really do love that meme. It's a good meme, I gotta admit. Drizzt, how have you been? I've been good, Steven. I've been good. Basically, so my friend hit me up today, and I'll be talking about this later, but he offered me basically a huge life decision choice that I have to make before the 14th. Lupin Face says, do you believe Zoro will have all 3 of his swords on par with Mihawk's? No. Not at all. Like 3 top tier swords? No, I don't think so. I think at max he'll probably have 1. I kind of like one of Mihawk's quotes whenever the flashback was about in Drizzt, where Mihawk said that, you know, with good training, any sword can become the Yoru. I would like it if Zoro just found a crap sword or something, but he's the one who made it legendary, like it's his name attached to it that has its fame. So it's all technical skill and personal prowess, instead of just the blade being super fucking good. I hope that that's kind of Zoro's last sword, where he finds his own thing and he's the one that makes it famous, instead of always picking up like a birthright or something along those lines. This is going to be private or disappear. It depends on how productive I think it is. I don't usually private any of them. I unlist them, so if you see my Twitter, you can just find it from there. But we'll see how productive I think the stream is. I might put it up. We'll see. Streams are kind of iffy to put up on a channel when you don't want your main focus to be streams. I like getting punched or hit in my dreams because it doesn't hurt, so I feel invincible. Yeah, I know what you mean, but usually when that happens, like if I get into some violent contact in my dreams, I usually die as a consequence. Oh shit, you watched her eat them? Yeah, because like I was a little kid, I was like, well, stop doing that. I felt like if I could just tell her to stop doing that, I was like, stop, what are you doing? Like if I tell you, you're gonna stop. Itetsu is waiting for someone from Roger's crew, says Corey. Well, why do you think that? Is it just a random out there guess? Do you have any reasoning for it? Brooke says, did you hear the crazy theory that Hawkins might beat Luffy and Zoro because he has an invincible Kaido voodoo doll? Where is this idea coming from? Like, that idea is so far out there that you know for a fact that it's false because none of it really makes sense. What's up, WoW? The one tree from Wano for Nakama. I actually despise 4 Nakama campaigns, man. It's like, I don't know why. It's like, it just irritates me for some reason. Because people just like, they see barely any evidence. They're like, and they just like go crazy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an asshole. Young Obama says, maybe instead of Zoro getting a new sword, let's hope he gets a good fight without the big air slashes. I'm expecting it. If Oda does a Zoro fight in this arc and none of it includes technical skill and it's just like huge slashes, my slash is bigger than yours, like Bleach shit, I'm going to be very disappointed. Yo, what's up, Blackbird? I am doing good. Yo, what's up, Drizzt? I see you're shitting on a lot of big name YouTubers in the One Piece community with that thumbnail. It's not even One Piece YouTubers. It's just like everyone. Like, you know, I always hate this because people don't like to admit it, but this is something that Joy Boy does a good job of. Whenever there is a meta theory, people shouldn't take credit for meta theories. Like, oh, I predicted we were going to Wano, guys. I predicted it. Or like, Zoro's gonna get a new sword. Like, people have been saying that for years and years and years, and you didn't say anything original about it. If you can predict the exact sword name first before someone else did, then I'll be impressed, or something along those lines. Or even more important, if you can correctly predict like Zoro's backstory, then I think that's way more important than Zoro gets a new sword. Who would have guessed? If the cursed swords contain a spirit, then they should not be able to fuse with each other. I mean, I think the concept is weird to begin with, because I don't know, why would you think that? Like, what evidence makes you think both swords will be broken and reforged as one? Like, is there some like lore that you're looking after that includes cursed swords that both become broken and are reforged? Like, is it just like a cool idea that you like? I don't really know. What is my prediction of Hawkins versus Luffy and Zoro? Does Hawkins have a chance or not? Or are they even going to fight? I personally believe that Hawkins has a chance, but I see it being a skirmish. So here's my thing. I feel like I know Oda too well to know what's going to happen. So realistically, Hawkins shouldn't have a chance. But if they were to fight, and I don't think they're going to fight seriously for like there to be a winner or loser of the fight. I don't believe that's going to happen. But if they were going to fight, Oda is going to naturally nerf Luffy and Zoro in some manner so that it seems fair. Like, this is something that Oda does repetitively. It's that whenever any person in the crew meets someone, particularly Luffy, and they have an ability, Luffy gets hit by every single attack from that ability, and it's like, ah! And he makes like a lot of noise, and he goes flying or something, but he ends up being okay because that's a way of Oda's hyping up individuals. So what I predict is going to happen is that Oda's going to, if they do fight, Oda's going to nerf Luffy and Zoro by having Luffy mess around with his sword and like falling all over the ground or something and being more hurtful than he is helpful. So it's not actually going to be a legitimate team up against two people trying their hardest against a legitimate foe. I don't think Oda would ever give us that without a gag. And here's the real thing. Like, I just don't know, or I can't see why Hawkins would even fight them to begin with. Like, this is something I mentioned in my review. Hawkins is someone that's like so predicated on calculations and like percentage chances. It's like almost impossible for me to believe that he looked at his chances of fighting Luffy and Zoro for a full-on fight and went like, oh, these are pretty good chances. Like, if it was a serious fight and Luffy was serious from the beginning, which is like a rarity, it wouldn't really, I mean, it would not be a high-def fight at all, in my opinion, and I love Hawkins. But another thing is, like, if Hawkins wanted to come down here, like, why would he even say, don't tell Kaido? There's obviously some alternative ulterior motive to it. So it's just like, the entire fight, no. And, like, here's the thing. If Oda has Luffy and Zoro just destroy Hawkins in a fight, that it instantly dehypes the supernova. But Oda knows that in a fair fight, Hawkins will not beat Luffy and Zoro if they're being serious. So what he's going to do, I think, is he's going to undermine the power of the supernova by having Luffy and Zoro mess around and it kind of be gag central. That's what I expect is going to happen. What life-changing decision do you have to make? I have to decide whether or not I'm going to move to Florida in the next 2 weeks. My friend who lives down there is coming up the 11th, and he's going back the 14th, and he has two rooms in his house. And he offered, basically, room for us in there. Holy crap. 50 sec. Brooke for Pirate King, Boone Baron. Yo, I think I saw you in Braga stream. Yo, what's up, Brooke? How you doing? Thank you for the donation, my friend. I appreciate it. 50 sec. But yeah, so he offered us room and board. Rent's fairly cheap. And I don't even have to pay the first month if I'm having trouble financially. So there's a ton of jobs down there. I've already applied to like 7. I got an interview from 1. I don't know if I'll get it. But I have to decide whether or not I'm just going to pack up everything and move down there. Because he's coming up with 2 cars with him and Caitlin, which is his girlfriend. And they're driving down. So me and my best friend Cody, we have to decide, are we going to go down then? And for me, it'd be optimal to do it. But it's like a big decision. I've never really been out of state that much. And also, I have to consider my family. So, like, I'm going to have to have some big talks with my family over the course of the next 2 weeks. Because, I mean, my main concern is my mom, because she has leukemia. And I want to make sure that she's comfortable being able to take care of herself. And that my dad, because they're divorced, that my dad, you know, is aware of that. So, part of that responsibility has to fall on him. Because I know my mom's gonna miss me, so favorite One Piece movie? I think you know the answer to that. Take a guess. Take a guess. You know, I finally started reading Tower of God and Jesus Christ. I've been binging it for the past few days. Yeah, I told you, Tower of God is greatness, man. Tower of God is greatness. Hassan says, weird thought, if Zoro got his own sword and made it legendary class, then that means the number of legendary swords will be 13. That is a cursed number itself. True. That's true. Yeah, doesn't hockey kind of make sword quality irrelevant? I mean, I'm sure at the top tiers, the quality of the sword actually matters. Because even if, let's say we go back to the beginning of the story and Zoro fights Mihawk again, I'm sure that his, like, the two swords would probably still be broken because of the quality of the material. Like, only his original sword didn't get damaged because of the quality of it, so. I don't know, it's a weird argument. Oda hasn't really touched upon the dynamics of swordsmanship, period. I had to watch all the Barbie movies with my sister when we were kids. Oh, I know this music. Oh, I don't even know. Is it a Barbie music? They didn't want to get copyrighted. Bigomon says, I get more excited of the new people we meet becoming new Grand Fleet members. Why have a new member so Oda could put him in the background? See, that's what I'm saying. And we are going to be getting, like, the new interview that's coming out. We haven't seen the Sandman translation yet, but there's a lot of interesting stuff in it. And part of it has to do with crewmates. And if the One Piece story is 80% done, then I feel bad for any of the crewmates that are going to join the Straw Hats that aren't old people we've already met. Because you barely have any story left for me to even like you as a character. So that's going to be weird. Oda kind of mismanaged his time for all of the crew joining. Corey says, I disagree with people that think that Zoro would leave Shisui because it's Wano's national treasure. Zoro won that sword in a fair fight. He's not giving that sword up. Well, yes, sure, but Zoro is also a man of honor. Because, like, the entire, like, basis behind that is that people also assume that Zoro is going to learn something about himself. So, if you learn something about his heritage and maybe it connects with Ryuma, maybe he's more inclined to leave the sword. Trevor says, my personal headcanon. I would like Zoro to drop the Pirate Hunter nickname and pick up Cursed Swordsman. I actually like what he has now, like in the Wano theme, because I said this would, like I said it would be cool if this happened because it's like Rurouni Kenshin. Ronin, Zoro, it also goes well with this gag. Did you see the Hawkins Kaido doll theory? No, I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it. Maybe I'll watch it on stream because I don't even know what possible evidence you can think of it to support that aside from just like headcanon. But like, even then it ignores the nature of Kaido as a human being anyway. Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, I'll go check. Let me see real quick. The only Tchaikovsky one I see is Waltz of the Flowers. Let's see. Jacob asks, do you think Oda's new claim that One Piece is 80% done should be taken seriously? Should you ever take Oda seriously is the better question. And I'm going to say no. But I think there is a bright side to 80%. If that claim is true, 80% being done, there is a bright side. That basically means that Oda can't fuck around with the story. Like, he has to minimize and perfect the chapters so that they are faster pace and there's, like, more stuff in them. Similar to what we've been getting in the Reverie and Wano so far. So, the benefits of 80% is that he has so much to cover that he kind of can't mess around with, like, a bunch of useless chapters, like how we got in Whole Cake Island. Hawkins knows the environment better than Luffy and Zoro. He should be able to at least escape if he gets involved in a fight. He's in the middle of a wasteland. I mean, how do you know the environment better in the middle of a wasteland? That's like saying, like, I can run faster, so I know the environment better. If the fight, like, escalates into the forest, then maybe, yeah. I could agree with that. What's up, Matter? Yeah, it's a pretty heavy decision. Hope you make the right choice. Yeah, I'm going to be thinking about it. Would I be okay working a part-time job? I've been working part-time jobs since before I got into college. So. Also, from what my friend told me, minimum wage down in Florida is way higher than it is here. Like, minimum wage here is like $8 at if. Like, in Florida, it's like 11. That's kind of ridiculous. It's a tough choice, but talk it over and think it through. Yeah, it's not something I can just jump into, but, like, the thing is, like, the only thing that would hold me back from doing it is my family, like my mom specifically, because from a financial and convenience standpoint, this is the best possible time because I would barely have to pay remotely close to the amount of money that I would normally have to pay to move down by myself. But I have a friend who's making the drive for me. He's also going to load my shit into the other car. So it's like, you can't really get that much better than that. So I'll have to think about it. I got to talk to my family. And I also got to quit my job as well. Going to miss hunting when you leave. Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with hunting. I can enjoy hunting a lot by sitting alone in the woods, like surrounded by nature. It's a very relaxing feeling. But it also sucks to hunt because you get cold really easy. But yeah, I'll miss hunting. Guessing Strong World? That's right. Strong World. I have not seen Film Z, so there's that. Davis asks, hey Drizzt, were you surprised by the twist and lace chapter of My Hero? For me, it was meh. I don't know. It's like, I'm not heavily invested into My Heroes, so twists and turns don't get me as much as they do to people who genuinely enjoyed the series. I thought it was fine. I kind of expected it to turn the way that it did, because a lot of the things were just like, it's like, okay, he's gonna double flip. It seemed pretty obvious. I think it would have even been a better twist to rationalize Hawks actually being evil despite all of the flashback and like his belief in Endeavor and him still being on the evil side. Because like I feel like because of that, you basically couldn't believe that he was going to be on the bad side at all. So if it actually turned out that he was evil, but there was some reason that he believed in Endeavor, but he was on the bad guy side, that would be a really good twist. You think it would have made more sense if Jinbei was a Grand Fleet member? I mean, not really. What, do you think it would have made more sense? And if so, why? You could roll a dice like Fujitora and go or stay on a 1. Definitely not doing that. Onigiri no Zoro would sound way better in my opinion. I think it translates to Demon Slayer. Onigiri, but Zoro has an attack called Onigiri. I know. I feel like it'd be something not related to his attack. Like, I don't expect Mihawk to be like Hawkeyes as an attack. Burger says, I agree that keeping him on track would be great, but I fear Oda will put even less slice of life moments between the crew then. Oh well. I mean, we don't really get that much to begin with, so I don't think we will be missing that much. Blackbeard is going to Wano. I think there's a high chance of that happening, Ali. What's the other stream you're watching, Lucy? Young Obama, what do you feel about people complaining that Oda is going too fast in this arc? I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. How is it going too fast? And is that a thing you should be complaining about, knowing that, like, you know for a fact Wano's going to be fucking long as all hell? I don't really understand the complaint. It's like, boom, it's way better. It's like, I don't know. I love it so far. Mert says, I recently took a MBTI test. I've had difficulties understanding myself, but now it's all clear. Now I understand why I never enjoyed any of my jobs. Why is that, Mert? Minimum wage is $15 in New York? What? Well, that's probably because the cost of living is ridiculous in New York. So, that probably is the reason why. Fish Monkey from Hell. Fish Monkey from Hell asks, what role do you think Vegapunk will play in the story? Well, I mean, I can give you the asshole-like answer where it's like, well, Oda said that when the Straw Hats met Vegapunk, they would learn the secret of devil fruits. So, I mean, I think it's kind of weird that Oda kind of gave away the purpose of Vegapunk in that sentence. But, I mean, obviously, so I'll go with that. But I don't really know where I stand on the whole Vegapunk as a revolutionary concept. I feel like after Reverie, that might have taken a small hit. So, or a rather large one, I would say. I feel like at some point in time, there has to be some kind of dialogue between Frankie and Vegapunk. I mean, those characters, like, they're pretty similar to each other in terms of, like, Frankie's supposed to be, like, the next and upcoming creator. You should read Kingdom. I do read Kingdom. I'm on chapter 447, my friend. In Chicago, it's 13-something last I checked. Dang. Do it, fam. Make the leap. I'm considering making the leap. I'm leaning towards that. Because, I don't know, it's like, I've spent most of my life kind of in relative solitude. Like, I haven't made a whole lot of big decisions. I've kind of always stayed in the same general area. Aside from whenever I was a young kid and my parents were divorced and I was moving from place to place. But once I settled down with my dad, like, I kind of haven't really done anything drastic. I've been really controlled and I've kind of stayed within my relative town. I don't really travel that much because it costs money. So, I feel like it might be something that I need. Like, as a human and as an adult trying to learn and address them, like, make themselves more applicable to the world, I think it might be something I need. And something I've been telling myself is that, like, so one of the reasons if I didn't move, it would be because of my mom and her leukemia. But, like, I have to ask her, but I don't know if that's a good enough reason. Because at some point in time, regardless of the situation, you can't be hamstrung by your sense of duty that is preventing yourself from kind of becoming the person that you could be. So I'll have to talk to it with my family because, I mean, if I leave in 2 weeks, that doesn't really give them that much time to spend with me. So. Yo, what's up, Savvy? How are you doing, friend? The moment you saw the wasteland, you thought of Jack. Oh, Jack the Drought? Oh, yeah, I did not even think of that. It didn't even pop into my mind. Kay says, between all the Luna shipping fan art we see Mihawk and Shanks, you want to tell us something, Drizzy? Yo, I can put up some Mihawk and Shanks fan art, man. There's a girl that I'm close friends with who really likes like Mihawk and Shanks, although she would rather see Mihawk ship with Boa purely based on aesthetics and not relationship at all because they look good together. But she likes Mihawk and Shanks, so like sometimes I'll meme her by giving her some fan art of that. Did you talk about the woman Zoro saved in your review, or do you think she is insignificant? I got triggered by not seeing her face, thinking typical Oda, making me think she is important or not. So here's what I think. I did mention this in the review, and I kind of meme this, but I think there might be some underlying truth to it. So in the previous chapter, 911, we learned about the concept of the red light district because Kaido's henchmen were going to prostitute Tama, or that's the concept that's being held. And in the next chapter, we see Zoro save some woman. In the dialogue, we'll have to wait for the official translation, but I don't think there's going to be that much of a difference. But in the dialogue, it says, like, I have to find some way to repay you. And Zoro's like, bring me booze. And it's like, I don't have that. I gotta repay you still. I've seen enough hentai to know where that's going. That's like, you know, I'll offer you my body kind of shit. Memeing, but, you know, it's not... It follows a kind of stereotypical theme, especially within Japanese, like, manga and anime, for red light districts to be important places, because the people who usually run red light districts have unlikely allegiances. So I think this might be what happens. So Zoro saves this chick, right? They'll eventually get to the capital, where I assume the red light district is in full swing. They might get in trouble in the capital, and we're going to meet this woman again And because of the debt she owes Zoro, the Straw Hats are going to be saved because of it. So that's my prediction so far. Yo, what's up, Cody? You nervous about the idea of moving? Yeah, I mean, as much as I think it would be cool, I'm honestly nervous. Aren't you? Let's see, Blackbird says, I don't think it's too fast, quicker pace maybe, and I'm not complaining at all. Yeah, like, I've been enjoying Wano so far. Like, I mean, I can nitpick things, but overall, I have to say I've been enjoying it. Which is a far cry from the kind of attitude I had towards the latter half of Whole Cake Island. So, I mean, if I'm personally enjoying it right now, then, like, so, like, I can kind of understand because people want all of the nitty-gritty build-up to everything, but that's not really necessary. I mean, a lot of the arcs in the beginning kind of actually move fast because Oda has to set up characters. It's not as if we get multiple chapters a lot of people just, like, exploring the environment. Because you have to think about it, like, can you even do that in Wano? Wano is like the... Sawyer does this a lot in his reviews where he kind of memes like the magical adventure, the magical land of Wano. But when it comes down to it, you're basically in a Yonko's territory and you're there for war. It would be completely insane to me if the Straw Hats prioritized adventure over actually getting shit done. Because they know what they're there for. They know what Momonosuke asked them to do. I mean, you're coming there for war. Yo, we gotta have a Tekking style movie night and watch Film Z. I'd be down for that. Raphael says, why isn't Brago doing the weekly chapter analysis with you and the gang these last few chapters? He hasn't told me, but I can almost guarantee you this is the answer. Brago just had a child, man. So he's got a baby. He needs to take care of that baby first and foremost above anything else. And plus, Brago has that. He has his other shit he needs to do, like the other content he needs to make by himself. He's got his full-time job. He has his other kid. He has his wife to attend to. It's kind of like a miracle that Brago is able to produce as much content as he is now without completely destroying himself. Like, Brago barely gets any sleep. I guess he's used to it because he's been doing it for so long, but you know, he's on that grind. So sometimes the analysis won't be able to come out depending on, do the stars align right? You know, is Brago going to be free? Is the family doing okay? Do I have time to kill here? And also, another reason could be this, and I don't think this is the reason, but if I were Brago, this is something that I'd be thinking about. We're in a new arc. So, if you are trying to grow your channel in the beginning of a new arc, you need to try and get ideas out there as fast as you humanly can, because people right now, they're looking for theories. They're looking for people to tell them what they think is going to happen in the story because we're at the beginning. That's where theories are the strongest, and I don't think it's debatable. Like, at the beginning of Whole Cake Island, JB basically got famous off of his entire, you know, Big Mom ally thing, because people were like, holy crap, didn't think about this, and it was a revolutionary idea at the time. Brago should kind of, I think, be prioritizing himself over working with other people. We need a page of Walker Monger. Come on, do it, Drizzt. Yeah, I'll draw the page of him getting raped. What do you think about Oda's statement on One Piece being 80% complete? I'm not fully buying into it, but I think there are positives if it's true. Frank says, I want the pacing to stay the way it is, and what do you think will happen in Wano that will have the biggest impact on the story going forward? Well, I mean, it's hard to, like, so a lot of people don't think Kaido's going to fall in Wano, but I think he's probably going to fall in Wano. So, if Kaido falls in Wano, Yonko defeated, huge news, that brings into action every single other Yonko because it's necessary. Like, if one Yonko falls, all of them have to do something, especially Blackbeard. You know, there's that entire Blackbeard comes to Wano idea, and if Big Mom comes to Wano as well, like, that's a huge movement. So, like, that's obviously the biggest thing, because that is going to be the thing that kind of props Luffy up again, because while many people don't like the idea that Luffy has this, like, the title of Yonko, it seems apparent that Oda is slowly building Luffy up to eventually being able to actually earn that title. So, having a war arc against another Yonko seems pretty appropriate for that. But also, you have to think about it. Wano will probably be ending at the exact same time Reverie is ending, or roughly so. So these are two major events that both have major implications. So that's going to be the biggest importance to the story. But I'm still holding on to my Luffy sickness theory, so hopefully that goes forward as well. Yo, oh, JB's in the chat. Fly free, lad. Yo, how much free time have you had now that you've been reading the Mistborn trilogy, JB? It's sucking you in, isn't it? That's such a good trilogy. But that's what I'm kind of leaning towards, JB, flying free. I think that's what's best for me at the moment. Savvy says, I'm fine, bro. I'm glad you're comfortable living with my dad and stuff. Oh, yeah, my relationship with my dad is great. So, I mean, it used to be kind of rough, but it's been nothing but great so far. So, it's been fun. I know I kind of meet the standard of like, oh, you're living in your parents' basement still, but like, I'm poor as shit, and I couldn't afford to fucking get an apartment anyway, even if I wanted to, because of tuition, so I don't really give a... She would want you to move as well, almost with their children to grow. Yeah, that's the case depending upon your age. See, this is something that I think I'm going to say this is an observation, but I think it's merited. So, whenever you get to your 20s, most people do not prioritize family. That is the last thing on their mind because you're starting to come into your like adulthood. You're prioritizing social relationships more than you are your family relationships. You're prioritizing your career. You're prioritizing your new experiences. Genuinely speaking, and I think maybe you guys disagree with this and we can talk about it, but I feel like most people stray away from their family once they reach their 20s. You know, for instance, as soon as I started going to college, I basically stopped going to church because, you know, I wanted to do other stuff. I stopped spending as much time with my family because I wanted to do other stuff. But parents, on the other hand, as they get older, like roughly speaking, if you're in your 20s, your parents are probably in their late 50s or maybe early 60s, depending upon what age they conceived you. And whenever people get to that age, they reverse to your priorities. They actually want to spend more time with the family than they do doing their own thing because they're at the tail end of their career. So as they reach that mortality limit, they want to value most what they couldn't while they were getting to that point in time. So while they were building the career, you necessarily don't really value your time with the family as much. But as you get older, that becomes a priority. So our father JB is here. That's right. Hey. You timed out my boy Cody? What are you doing? Cali is $15 and no snow ever. No snow. Yeah, I've also heard it like never rains in Cali. I love rain, so like that would suck. Can we finally agree that the gas weapons Jack used on Zoe are produced in those factories? I mean, I've been saying that. I mean, that seems the most evident to me. Young Obama, please stop. What, Drizzt the Adventure chooses them? Brago finna introduce his kid alongside his new mixtape. Brago has an old YouTube video with his kid in it. You timed out my boy twice? God damn it. But anyway, the timed out message, the first one, freaking witch. I need to make Cody a mod so that that can't happen. Modded. Absolutely, yeah, neither of us have really been anywhere but here, but I do think it's something that I think we might need. Yeah, that's what I've been thinking, Cody. That's what I've been thinking. It's like especially for like, I think maybe this is actually more relevant to you because in terms of isolation, you've probably been more isolated than I have, especially during the high school years. So this might be something that you need even more than I do. Isn't the One Piece 30th anniversary being planned? No way is 8% done. Yeah, they're planning it. No, he said 65 2 years ago in 2016. Something like that. Collab stream with JB. Yo, I would do anything with JB. Look, there he is. There he is. Fuck yeah. Look at that sexy ass man. Fuck God. Did you see the Godzilla trailer or any other trailer? So funny that you talk about this, Ulrich. I was watching Shroud stream today, and he was live reacting to the trailers. So I saw a lot of the trailers that are new from Shroud, but the one I saw, the only one I've seen that I didn't watch from Shroud watching it was the Glass trailer. I loved Unbreakable. I loved Split. I cannot wait to see Glass. That movie looks sick. Every other movie looks like shit. Aquaman looks awful. I don't like Shazam. It seems so stereotypical. Like, it's not even... I feel like this kind of... That premise and, like, the attitudes people have in movies has been so overdone. I don't feel like any of those characters are original anymore. Like, the acting... Like, everyone acts the same in superhero movies, and I do not like it one bit. The Godzilla trailer... I don't understand. What the fuck is going on? So, like, it's like... So, you're bringing back all of these ridiculous Titan-like creatures to fight nature? Is that the premise of the movie? I don't even understand what the fuck's going on. It's like, the world is gonna end. Send Godzilla to fight that tornado. It looked kind of gay, in my opinion. I kind of enjoyed the first Godzilla. It was alright. But this one kind of looks... Ugh. I don't know, man. Drizzt, maybe you should wait until you become an enchanted clone of Witch before you move. That is true. You never went to church? Church Omega Law? Oh, I see we got some memers in the chat. Yeah, I was an altar boy. I started as an altar boy in my church when I was 9. And I was recruited by the father of my church, Father John. And I served as an altar boy for 13 years. And I was captain of the altar boy squad for like 6? Maybe 5? I genuinely enjoyed it. DJM says, if your mom is getting taken care of, I think you should move, but if not, stay to take care of her. That's the best advice I can give you. Well, the thing is, like, my mom has been, like, she doesn't have a caretaker. She's 58. She has been living on her own with basically zero money for the past, like, 9 years. But there's usually a couple situations per year in which, because she's, you know, she's basically living on nothing, but she does fantastic with it. Like, the best manager of money I've seen. The only thing that's wrong with my mom is she makes bad decisions. But, like, there's usually a couple times of the year that she needs help from an outside source because there are certain things she can't do. And my plan so far is, like, I had to talk to my dad. Because even though my parents are divorced, my dad does not hate my mom one bit. And I know that my mom, like, if my mom just got the courage to ask my dad for help whenever she needed help, he would do it. He's a good man. But divorce does that to people, you know. Also, what the hell? 500 sec! Godzilla movies are and always have been shit. Can I bribe for a mod? Hell yeah. I'm a whore, so, I mean, fuck yeah. 500 sec. 500. I'm just curious what it is. Swedish currency. USD. 500 secs. 56. Oh, shit, dude. Thank you for... I appreciate the donation. Enjoy your modhood. Brook for Pirate King. Even though I dislike Brook. Okay, so it depends on your relationship with your family, I guess. Some people just need to get away and never want to see them again. Oh, yeah, I guess it depends. I mean, I feel like I have a healthy relationship with my family, but still. Burger says, and I'm with you. It's hard to make time for church when you got tons of stuff to do and just worn out from social interactions. Yeah, I mean, like, whenever I was in college, so I was in college and I worked. So the main reason that got me from stop going to church is that, so I used to work at McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's for 3 years, 3.5 years. And I usually worked every Sunday. And like if I had a 1 or 2 p.m. shift, or like I even closed, I didn't feel like waking up early in the morning and going to church. I was like, I just want to sleep because I have to go to work soon. It was like a selfish thing, but I was like, I want to do it. And like, I just became more selfish, you know. It just, church meant less to me as I was started to grow into adulthood. And that, every single person in my church that was my age was like that. Like the people that I graduated Sunday school with, they were all like that. Once they hit the college years, they were out of there. Whether they moved to university or whatnot. They came during the holidays, and I came during the holidays too. But still. Who makes more sense, God Sanji or Arthand? I feel like I've seen 1 or 2 things that make sense from Arthand, but they're both retarded. We'll never seen Dritz's face. This is me. This is the white pasty Drizzt. How you doing, Sebastian? Thanks for dropping by. JV in the slideshow. Hell yeah, dude. Bronco's in here too. Yeah, 2012, 60%, 2016, 65%. What? Is that actually the accurate? There was a 4-year... What a bunch of bullshit. Yo, what I miss? Just talking real life stuff and just Wano stuff right now, Prince. You're working on a Drizzt and JB hentai manga? I can't wait to see it. They're still making DC movies. Somebody stop somebody. I mean, outside of the Batman trilogy, man, I haven't really seen many that were good. I mean, I haven't seen all of them, but, you know. Drizzt just got play the game with Genji for you. Oops, sorry, cast Genji players, man. "12-year-olds who have not watched any previous action movie will watch it." Yeah, I fucking... You know what kind of pisses me off? And, like, maybe this is because, like, I'm such an elitist. That's definitely the case. But, like, whenever I go to see, like, old movies that I grew up with and to see how much they can fuck up the sequels, and people bring their kids, it's like, they don't even understand the plot. They just like the action. I'm like, man, they would like this movie so much more if they knew what the hell was going on. Glass does look dope. Shazam looks good because it looks lighthearted, which DC desperately needs because every other trailer is a giant depression trip. Rape? No, what? You guys are memeing. I'm not Catholic. I'm Greek Orthodox, you nerds. Now, just I want you to point to this doll and tell me where Father John touched you. Never, never, ever, ever. Father John's a good man. He's a good man. And I kind of had like basically like a religious experience with him being the father of the church. I told this story before, but whenever my grandma was dying of cancer and she was in the hospital and all of my family were over there in the hospital, she was out. Like, she was in a deep sleep and she wouldn't wake up. We were just sitting there just basically waiting for her time to end. And the father of my church, Father John, came in to give his blessings, basically. And he was doing his routine, and he walked up to my grandma. He held her hand, and he said the words, "Wake up," and immediately my grandma woke up. It was like a gasp, like, and she woke up, and we got to talk to her for a little bit. It was like, I was like shook in that moment. I'm gonna watch the Glass trailer. You'll like it if you know the context behind it. Savvy says, my parents are split up too, and I know, man, I know how hard it is. My mom has too much pride to ask for help when she shows us a lot of burden. I try my best to help, though. I mean, that's kind of your duty as a kid. Be honest. You appreciate my content? Thanks, Brooke. I appreciate you, baby. See, Cody says, I was definitely more isolated, no doubt. Plus, it'd be sick to be with the squad. Plus, it's the AA house we memed about forever. It really is. It really is. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad you actually acknowledge it, Cody. Because, like, of course I would say you would admit it if we talked about it, but it's just one of those things where, like, it feels good to hear you say it. Because obviously out of the three of us, your situation was kind of the worst out of all three of us, and this is something I've told the stream before, but you're the glue that holds me and Brian together. Without you, there would be no squad. Drizzt sellout? Hell yeah. But I think it's something that I need to do. Just seems to get the pass up. That's what it seems like to me. I don't know how difficult it will be for you, Cody. Like making the decision. It's not like you have to worry about like the health of your family while you're gone. Maybe your dad at work, perhaps. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the relationship between mom and dad. I don't know if that would change if you left. Let's see. Mert says, I live in Sweden too, and I barely make any money, so I do not spend it on things like this. You could spend it on more valuable things. Yo, I've heard some weird things about Sweden. Like, people at McDonald's make like $25 an hour comparatively, but like all of it gets taken away in taxes. Is that true? The only time I went to church, I had a black metal t-shirt and everybody looked mad at me. I felt kind of bad. Well, I mean, that is kind of inappropriate. May I unlist this video? I need to watch something while commuting to school. Sure. I'll unlist the video. I'll unlist it. Princess, I recently rewatched the Dark Knight trilogy and it's still great, but man, I didn't realize how much Batman legit backhands a bad guy once and they're out like a light. I mean, that's kind of a theme in a lot of superhero movies. Like, fights like end in one punch. Like, one punch! And that's it. But yeah, I mean, the Dark Knight trilogy is amazing, and that's a fact. Never knew your parents? Instigator. Has it affected, like, how much do you think that's affected you growing up? Here is a mention. I'll look at this link real quick. Waiting for it to load. Oh, Jesus Christ. By the way, is this a motivational video? I mean, I feel like sometimes I can get motivational. It's probably because I've watched too much of Jordan Peterson. Ha, $25. No, that's what I thought, yeah. See, so now I talk to my mom every day, and the most worrisome thing to me is honestly Snickers. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with that, because, I mean, Snickers gets along well enough with Tiger, but that move, the drive particularly, I don't know how Snickers is going to handle that. Big movies. What are the movies? Did you get the job in Florida? So here's what happened. I got an interview for a job in Florida, and the interview's already over. I had it last Wednesday. Last Wednesday. I had it last Wednesday. It was a phone interview with a tech company in Florida. And here's the thing. It's kind of an investment because it is a position open for an internship to a help desk support job. So if I do well in the internship, I'll get hired full time. Like, well, I'll get hired as an actual part of the staff, and I'll be making decent money. But right now, if I go down, I'll be making kind of the low, not much money at all. But that's not the basis for me going down. If I go down, then the places that I applied to that saw where I lived in my resume and said, no, fuck this guy, they might be more inclined to give me another chance if I actually move down to Florida near where the place is. So, yeah. So we'll see. They said they'd call me back within 2 weeks. So we'll see. I mean, I imagine that like the interview went well. I was honest. I was confident. You know, they commented on how comfortable I was talking on the phone, which is you need for a support job. And the thing is, like, they made the choice to call someone out of state for like a limited position. So I feel like they weren't really looking at where I was living and saying, oh, that's a bad thing. If he can move down, then that's his thing, because they weren't going to cover it. So If I move down there and then get the job, it's like win-win. It's a tax hell and finding a job is difficult. Sounds like much of the world. Can't really deny that I'm somewhere isolated out of us. Yeah, I mean, you're definitely the most isolated out of us still. But it's kind of the isolation of us, like, I don't know. It feels like that plays a significant part in our broship. Which obviously does because of free time. Also, my boy Silvers is in chat. How you doing, Silvers? What's up with you? So my parents make a lot, so they are both in the 55% tax bracket. Imagine that the government takes 55% of your fucking income. That's ridiculous. Too much real talk? It's a Braga stream, alright? No, this is so cliche. I don't want to listen to this. That's 44 seconds. I don't want to listen to that either. Well, you see, not much. Not by much, actually. Me living unaware of who my parents were never really changed my view and how I live. Oh, that's actually interesting. That's... I'm assuming your foster family or whatever your situation was kind of replaced that? You got something to knock out before the drive? That's smart. Smart. Let's see, Rogers says, I got my psychology and philosophy on lock, but uni and work stress me out, so I'm out. I really enjoyed psychology in my philosophy courses at university. Drizzt, if you ever managed, Drizzt, if you ever managed to go to a Comic-Con or something, it'd be cool to meet you in person and grab lunch. A lunch with a fellow subscriber would be wild. Yeah, it would be wild if I met a subscriber in real life, man. That would be wild. It would be kind of like that, the reality check thing that a lot of people talk about whenever, like, they get big. Although I'm not big at all. This dragon have lightning powers. I've heard people talk about this, but I would say it's more like an effect of being able to manipulate. I mean, I still buy into the wind theory, so I'd say it's more of a product of that. Just being able to control your environment by manipulating other things. Hey, bro, that's good news. Toy? Dude, I'm gonna say that's do, or you. You think you'll ever be able to move back home, or is it too soon to think about moving back home? To be honest, I feel like if I decide to make to the final decision to move down, moving back is probably not something on my priority list, unless the job is so good that I literally can't pass it up. But no, because like the entire motivation for me moving to begin with is so I can be closer to my best friends. So like, as I said, I prioritize my social life with my friends, that I want that to last forever more than anything else. Doing these live streams help you be more comfortable with answering things on the fly. Yeah, actually, that is true. That's something that I was thinking about before even my interview began. Is like, I talk to random people online, and you guys ask me questions, and I have to be here to kind of give you guys answers to begin with. So it pressed me up. So this has actually been helpful to me. Yeah, for sure, Cody. Those literally don't do anything. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. You've kind of been like the person with the most free time, so aka the person both of us spend most time with while we both doing our life things. You back what I missed? Not much, to be honest. Just still like random stuff. DJMs in Denmark, the minimum wage for an 18-year-old is $16, and 37% of that goes to tax. But the tax money of Denmark gives the citizens free health care, and college university for free. College university for free does sound dope. Not gonna lie. Is there like a restriction on which college you can go to? Like, I assume like the application and acceptance of universities is a lot more strict based upon grading then. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense because everyone would just go to the best college. Just I know your name now. Come to New York and come find me. New York. Fucking New York. One day, if I ever decide to travel down to a con in New York or something, I'll be there. But my first priority, if I were to ever move to see someone, it would be JB. And if I moved down to Florida, it wouldn't be that ridiculous. I mean, I know where JB lives. I don't know his address, obviously, but I know where he lives. So I would definitely fly out to see JB, and I would probably fly out to see Braga too, because Braga's a real life guy. Although it's different with Braga because I mean he's like an adult with kids and shit. It's kind of hard to relate to an adult that has his life fucking together to someone who's like still in like that mid-20s, like, you know, I don't have my life together kind of shit. Doesn't even count you as a sub. That's because you never comment on my videos. How do I think Dragon would stack up against a Yonko? I think Dragon, like, in the power scaling stream that I did with Roger, I have Dragon, like, what is it? Third strongest in the verse, so I have, like, 2 Yonko above him, and he's stronger than the other 2. It's really hard to tell with Dragon, because it's, like, I don't even know what his purpose is in the series, so it's kind of hard to tell what his end goal is, because a lot of people still headcanon, like, no, he's probably gonna die, because, like, as a writer, it's really hard to fit in parents into a narrative, especially if they are strong, because you always have to account for it. It's much easier just to kill them off. But I don't know. I think Dragon's really strong, though. Really strong. Do I think Sana is a disrespectful ship to ever be made? Yes. All the best grades getting? That's what I assumed. That's what I assumed. I'm in New York too, and and the way you said that has me dying. Yeah, I just use like the New York stereotype. My brother, he went to New York with his girlfriend and his girlfriend's friends, and he was kind of a bitch on the trip, but literally he told me that people in New York are the most obnoxious motherfuckers he's ever met in his life. Like, he was just walking down the street, and people on the street were talking about how fucking great New York is. Like, he's like, New York is the best fucking city on the planet. No city's better than New York. The people are great. The culture's great. The food's great. New York is awesome. And he sat in a line for like 2 hours for like a $30 sandwich that was just like bread and like mustard and shit. He's like, what the fuck is this? Like, he was like bitching about it. He's like, no, this is a famous New York place. You know, you gotta go here. Wait, I thought you were coming to Comic-Con this year? When did I ever say that? No, I mean, listen, the reason I don't go places is because, like, one, I don't actually own my own transportation, and I don't have, like, money to be like, yeah, fuck, full trip. You know? I live life on the edge, basically. Would you fly out to see Franklin or Khan? Khan, I can't fly out even if I wanted to, because I would not want to. He's like a quarantine patient. You can't expose him to the outside world. If Khan ever caught up to the series, I would talk to him, because then I could tell him about what he's wrong with thinking things. Because I love doing that, because I'm an asshole. You would love to see a vlog between me and JB. That would be hilarious. I feel like I would be laughing my ass off, but it would be like the most awkward thing ever, and it would be so awkward that it's hilarious. Because JB doesn't really like being on the camera to begin with. He likes hiding behind the thing, because it's more comfortable for him. But yeah, could you imagine, like, at least I know some of the things that me and JB could, like, get along with, like, because I know he's not just, like, anime or bust, you know? It would be so weird. Like, hey, man, what about that One Piece chapter? Like, we're out eating, Drizzt, talk about something else, you fucking nerd. I'm like, well, okay. Wanna go shoot some hoops? If you're just about to come for you prepared the loo, hell yeah. Yo, Brooke, I'm walking over. I'm walking over here. New York, can I have a Discord mod too? Oh, your guts? Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'll mod you. I remember there was some random guy in downtown yelling, "Hey, Tony!" My cousin just joked it. It's our inside joke, "Hey, Tony." Oh, God, that is the most stereotypical thing ever. Bada boom, bada bing. Boom, bada. Fifth Element, if you get that reference. Boom, bada. Bing, bada. Bing, bada, boom. Yeah, the college acceptance is limited to your grades, or rather the education you choose from having different grades as a minimum for entering. I bet is it kind of like, I imagine when places are like that, is the parenting to getting good grades super strict? Like, you know, the people will think what Japan's like, you know, just study all day, every day, get into good school. Why you know A? I went to college with a girl who was in my freshman literary class from New York, and all she did was shit talk and go on about how she misses New York, but it was the best at everything. Yeah, see, people in New York are just fucking assholes then. New York is the best place ever. You're walking down the street, you see a rape, it don't even matter. Fuck that guy. Go to your mom's, get some spaghetti. I love my mama. We're all Italian over here. So two New York visited college and couldn't understand which line to take and stated that the train lines were much better. Drizzt, you're from Pennsylvania. I know you can shoot. I'm a hunter, man. So, I mean. One Piece Shippuden is coming after Wano. Please, no. I wouldn't be able to take it. Everyone a mod these days. Shake my head. You know, just for saying that, you're going to be a mod. So how you like that, huh? That meme, he's right, you know. They said that my school is the 4th greatest school in America, but I feel like I'm surrounded by idiots. That's probably because your upper 1% is really, really good. I'm not an asshole, you're an asshole. Fuck you. Fuck your mother too. You know, some Italian gesturing. Ugh. My dad was born in New York, lived there for five minutes. Good times, good times. But, mod, what is that? Even basically, you can post as much as you want with no restriction. And, well, you're supposed to moderate the chat, but mods usually don't do that. Yeah, that's your punishment, Kay. You're out of the timeout corner now. In Sweden, the dress code is usually very relaxed. If you see someone with a suit or a tie, they are a lawyer, CEO, or at a wedding. Really? It's that relaxed? Huh. Is there like a reason for that? Like, what's the reason for that? I think Gandhi is the actual strongest swordsman in the world. And what are your thoughts on the Gorosei? Well, I mean, I don't think Gandhi's the strongest swordsman in the world. He can be really, really strong, but doesn't mean he's the best swordsman, right? That's like saying, you know, Shanks is a Yonko. He's a better swordsman than Mihawk, but he isn't. He's just stronger than him. I think the Gorosei are really strong, though. At least that's the impression that I get from them. Hashtag kindergarten teacher, kindergarten teacher. Teachers. Everyone wants to be a teacher. Your mom doesn't chat. Only abuse their power. Yeah, a lot of the people who become mods, at least in the YouTube chat, aren't actually mods. Just people that people like. Yeah, if you're an immigrant in Denmark, but ethnic Danish people don't care that much of what their parents say, but it's because you a lot of opportunities in Denmark to get a living or education. Oh, okay. Are the Gorsei strong or are they Tai strong? Well, Tai, I don't think is like ever right about any power scaling thing. Like I saw Tai put Kaido as #1, and I was like, well, maybe I should redo my list. But yeah, I think the Gorsei are pretty strong. Confidence. It's a great job. I go fishing with little kids and look for squirrels in the forest. I mean, it's obviously a lot harder than that. I mean, kids are a lot of work. People assume, I feel like people assume if you're like a kindergarten teacher, or like a grade school teacher, that you'd be like a great parent or something. But like that's absolutely not the case at all. You got mod on Dustin's channel, don't know why. Probably because you've been there a lot. I feel like I've seen you in a lot of streams, Instigator. And almost every One Piece stream that I've been in, you've been in as well. Because, you know, if you show consistency in being there, that people remember. Like, it's not like we don't remember your names, right? Especially big-time YouTubers. Like, if you see, like, one person that's been there for a long time, it's like, okay, I can trust this person. They're here a lot. Because one of the things that mods usually are, at least on Twitch, you have to be in the stream a lot. Gorsei should be strong and not overpowered. I agree. I agree. Pai isn't always wrong. He loaded Froob and Dustin stream about Zoro's sword not breaking. Oh yeah? Froob is so weird. Froob can either say really good arguments, or he's just like, he just forgets shit. Like, whenever Froob DMs me like every week about the One Piece spoilers, and he like forgets something that he just read from the spoilers, I'm like, Froob, did you read this? I feel like Froob's high a lot, or like he doesn't like care to think that much about it. He just wants to live in the moment, kind of thing. Oh, you and Cody are both in here, Brian. Okay. What is this? I'm like in the Wild Wild West. Horses to water. All right. If One Piece is actually 80% done in all seriousness, I think 3 or all the Yonkas show up at Wano and Luffy's the only one that makes it out. Oh, please no. That is the last thing I want. Last thing, because that would piss me off so much, because that would be Oda's answer for Luffy not being strong enough. I'll just nerf all the Yonka by having them all kill each other. Like, holy shit. No, that'd be so bad. With like 20 mods in chat, they just fucking ignore the comments, and Dustin been spoiled. Yeah, especially if you're a live reactor, your mods literally, like, I was in Bronco's stream the other day, and I was deleting comments like every other second. Like, people were like saying like shit like Zoro swords. I was like, dude, he hasn't got to that part, you fucking idiot. Delete comment, delete comment, delete comment, delete comment. And like sometimes people like they have no self-awareness, but sometimes you get so excited you just want to type it anyway. So I understand, but like that's what the mods are there for. You gotta, it's a job. You gotta do your job. Like, mod isn't just a status where it's like, hey, I like you a lot, so you can be mods. Like, no, like I expect you to kind of like, you know, moderate the chat in exchange for unlimited spam. When I saw Uzumaki Kong get back to live reacting, I got so hyped. Then some idiot spoiled him, and he didn't live react anymore until he got caught up. Yeah, and it's unfortunate because now Khan is in the worst adapted arc in the series, for the anime. So I feel bad for him. There's like no more to look forward to. He's already got past all the good stuff. You're a diehard Bronco supporter. I see you on all of Bronco's videos, Lucy, so I know for a fact that you are. Although you're on everyone's videos, to be honest. Just a question, because like I know people care about this, but I want to know how much you care about this, Lucy. So like, one of the things that people get whenever you're in a community, it's like it's kind of a game to see how many like upvotes you can get on a comment, because that makes you feel good. Like, I'm being serious about it. Like, you feel good about getting lots of upvotes on your comments. Does that go through your mind, Lucy, whenever you comment on videos? Shut up, Cody. Well, I don't know. Yeah, actually, Obama, you're fucking modded. Because I know you're a bro. By the way, bro, feeling like a Lend is the hero of ages. The second book is not as good as the first, though. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of like the stereotype with most series, isn't it, JB? It's like, you know, the first is usually the best because, one, you get introduced to all of the world. Everything becomes natural. The second book usually deals with other stuff. But I agree with you. The second book is not as good as the first. The first one is amazing because, I mean, I love Lord Ruler. Lord Ruler is life. Praise the Lord Ruler. But we'll see. We'll see if you're correct about that. I don't know. What is this? This is like some Disney movie music right now. Yo, what's up, Candyman? How you doing? My soundtrack's all over the place. Well, I'm just playing a playlist. If this is my actual music, I mean, it'd be different. I'm just playing a playlist. Does Orochi have the Shodai Katetsu? Depends on how much you buy into the Orochi mythology. Because the Orochi mythology, the sword that is gained from defeating Orochi is not a Katetsu blade. Your AV is basically Evil Joy Boy. I see the hair and I just immediately assume Yu-Gi-Oh! So that's what I'm going to assume what Key's avatar is. That's Yami. What is this? Oh, Ride of the Valkyries. This is like used in every cartoon ever. Brawler's Discord is full of immature children. Brawler's Discord is where cancer goes to die. How much do I pay my mods? Oh, a lot. It's full access. I feel disrespected. One of the most dumbest anime that a lot of people love is making its return on my birthday. Which one? So sad we didn't get to see his Corazon death. Yeah, that feels bad, man. Oh, that's unique, Lucy. Then you're a real fan. Real fan. Honestly, you and Braga are probably the only two One Piece creators who I can actually watch full streams besides the Reveries. Well, I mean, it's kind of I mean, I stream a decent amount, but a lot of the other YouTubers, they stream for different reasons. Usually, I mean, I guess it depends. And if you go to Cole's streams, usually it's a discussion, like it's usually cancer or like argument, because half the time ties in it, or the cancer people on like that incorporate their Discord, both Brago and Cole respectively. If I open a manga anime company, would you like it if I hired you, Drizzt? It depends what my job would be. On mod me? Only if you want me to. I use upvotes to scale my opinion if a lot agrees or not. It's a good way to do it. Brooks says, Drizzt, I remember when I gave 50 sec long ago and you thought I'd give you $50. You were so happy. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was like, holy shit. Yep. And I was like, oh, that's a Subway sub. Yeah, I remember that too. Let's see, Lucy says, Drizzt, people are only noticing me as frequent because I don't change my name or profile picture, but in truth, the others are like me all over the One Piece community. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people like you, but I don't know. They don't make themselves as known to the content creators because, well, as I said, you're in like every stream ever, so it's people are reading comments. It's easier to associate an identity with you. Like, you've been in my streams for a while. Dustin's Discord is worse than Brago's. Is it? That's hard to imagine. How many complex jumps through hoops theories actually hold weight when it comes to predictions? How many complex theories that have to jump through hoops hold their weight when it comes to predictions? Well, not many. Because if you have to jump through hoops to get the conclusion, chances are your logic to reaching that conclusion is somewhat flawed. Because usually what that means, if you have to jump hoops through something, that's usually confirmation bias. So you think Luffy will give Zoro the Nidai Katetsu even though Zoro isn't the one who found it? I don't think so. I don't think, like, it just doesn't really make much sense to me. Like, from a writing perspective. Like I mentioned in my review, like, why would you have Luffy find it to just give it to Zoro? Like, that seems so ridiculous. I would accept this. Zoro can get the sword if you can rationalize why, when, and how the sword will be relevant to Luffy. Because I feel like you have to answer that first before you get to someone else. So, that's where I am right now. Does Ty have a Discord? He has to. Everyone has Discords. Torb best DPS, that's right. Might do it. I watch Drizzt because he streams late and I often work late. There we go. It's convenience, baby. Either me or Braga usually streams late, so. You know about Fairy Tail, right? They just have to make the return on my birthday. Oh, Fairy Tail. Golly, gosh. Fairy Tail. That is definitely, that's like an L. Can't link videos in chat anymore. You have to be a mod, I believe. Always thought being a mod was about having the biggest genitalia. In a way, it is. Do I think Luffy will have a growth spurt before the series is over, or will he stay 5'9"? He will stay 5'9" until the series is over. Oda's already showed a tendency to be scared of change. So there's no way he's going to change Luffy that much before the series ends. Because Oda is going to take into consideration more so, like, his idea of the connection of a character to the fandom over the chance of changing them. And that's fairly evident. But if you're going by actual One Piece terminology, like actual One Piece logic, in like 10 years, Luffy could easily be like 5 meters tall or something. Steven asks, what do you think is going to happen to the One Piece community 10 years from now when it's finally over? It will die. It will turn into dust. There will not be that much to talk about. Because the main allure of One Piece is that there's a whole crap ton of mystery involved in it. And a lot of the discussion revolves around the fact that it's such a long-going series. That's where a lot of the discussion comes from. After One Piece is over, it might not turn out this way, but it should die, like, immediately. Like, it'll just slowly but surely. Be Tower of God, right? Is that series worth catching up on? I've heard good things. Yeah. Yeah, where are you in Tower of God, Candyman? Where are you? What's this playlist? I don't know. It's classical music YouTube audio library. That's what it is. I have a theory video you probably haven't seen yet. All right, what is it? What's the title? What's the concept? I think Luffy will keep the sword and learn how to use it. No, I don't think he will. Do I want him to? Yes. Do you count the interaction between Luffy and Zoro as the interaction you asked for in your rant video? No, not what I wanted in my rant video, but it's something that I wanted in general. So that's a huge plus for me. I love the interaction. Literally made my week. Zoro, as I said in my review, Zoro's smile is a national treasure, man. I love the relationship between Zoro and Luffy. Like, it's best bromance in the series, as I said. I love it. One Piece is over, the anime community equals a ghost. No, then I mean, I imagine some cancer. Anime anything is usually cancerous, but it'll probably be My Hero or something by that point in time if it's still going, which it might end. You never know. Have I read The Breaker? It's one of my favorite manga. Yeah, I read The Breaker, and I read most of The Breaker New Waves. I did not finish the series, but I did the last few chapters that I was reading, which was before the end. It was kind of getting poopy. I feel like that show, it's kind of weird. Most manga, they kind of crash and burn to the ground. Like, they get rushed a lot because, like, the industry in Korea is just absolute shit. Much as it is in Japan. You haven't started reading Tog yet, but it seems very interesting. Read Tower of God. I trust me. It's going to start off, you're not going to like the art at the beginning. Stick through it like you stuck through One Piece. It gets really good. Believe me. It has, in my opinion, one of the top 5 arcs I've ever read. So. Do I think Zoro's bounty will be 1 billion after Wano? I don't think so. Like, I've given my guess before. I'm going to guess somewhere around 800 million, like the mid-range, 850 maybe. If Zoro was to abandon the crew, do you think Luffy would chase him like Naruto? Oh, God. Please, no. Zoro! Luffy! Just, do you think Oda will revisit Owner Chef's Grand Line logbook? Nope. Nope. I don't think so. Whose 2 eyes do you want to see the most, Zoro or Sanji? Nice troll. That was a good one. I like that. Let's see, Nick says, just your job will be to make the manga you create into reality. Also, a Tower of God chapter is out now. The ending of the last chapter would probably make you say, hell yeah. Ooh, if I could actually make my story, ooh, that would be nice, man. That'd be nice. I would have to also make it so it's not like 100% copyright, but, you know. Which, ooh, that'd be nice. The creators took a break and plan on making another one. Oh, jeez. One of my dreams when I was young was to become an animator and animate One Piece 2 to 3 chapters an episode and make the art the anime look like Oda's work. Oh yeah, that's like gonna kill you doing that much work. That's also assuming that you have full control over the industry, which no one does because the industry is corrupt, like all industries. People told me Kingdom would get good. I'm more than 50 chapters in. I still don't see it. Well, I mean, it all depends upon your subjective tastes and story. I mean, Kingdom's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. It's a good series. It has its flaws, though. People give it mad head. More than I think it should. But I enjoy Kingdom. If it's not your personal like, then nothing wrong with that, man. I agree, Jacob. I agree with the dragon slaying. Nanjutsu Tower of God, Wiki to understand the story. Don't. No, you have to figure it out, man. What's the point? Do I buy into the Mihawk loses to Shiryu and Zoro avenges him theory? No. I don't buy into it because I refuse to believe Oda would rob the fandom of something that he's been alluding to for over 20 years. That would be the greatest disservice to Zoro. Like he literally wants to beat him in combat. Like, I don't know. I can see it happening, but I pray to God it doesn't. I want to see Mihawk versus Zoro so bad. Please don't do that. Don't rob the community of that. Ugh, please don't. But, man. Play over here. I just paused it. It's not even. It's like half over. Naruto and sausage. Look for Tower of God and couldn't find it. Link. Go to Webtoons. Go to Webtoons. Young Obama, the website, Webtoons. You'll find it. After one, do you think we'll visit Elbaf next or reach the Emerald City? I'm going to assume Elbaf next is my headcanon. Never got your opinion on Franklin saying that Mihawk was 18 in his top 20. I'm joking. I was just trying to trigger. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I buy Af's excuse that he thought it was a 20 favorites. There's no way. I'm not buying that. What did Smoker say? Any organization that involves people is bound to be corrupt. Well, absolute power corrupts absolutely. Gonna hook a brother up with that bird meme in your thumbnail. If you DM me, I'll give it to you on Twitter. I'll give it to you, no problem. Because it will remind me as well. My theory is Nami will end up being the 5th strongest tribe by the end of the story. So why do you think that? She's the main character? Like one of the 3 triggers of One Piece, Zoro, Luffy, and Nami? I agree. So, okay, so I agree. So when Zoro beats Mihawk, if that happens, what happens to the Mihawk sword? Does Zoro take it or leave it? I mean, he probably leaves it. It would make like no sense for Zoro to take Mihawk's sword like that. I don't even know like how that would even work. I don't know. If Mihawk dies, then do what you did to Whitebeard. Store in the grave. Mihawk equal 19 strongest character. That's just lit. That's just blasphemy. That's so blasphemous that I don't. That's like, oh. Direct can't like inject cancer into my bloodstream. Please no. Ooh, Sargon of Akkad uploaded a video. Hell yeah. So you're gonna do that One Piece character thing like Tekking and Rogers Space did? Oh, what is it? What is it? That thing where you like make your own character or something like that? Is that it? Is that this year's trend that's going around? Only if I get tagged by another YouTuber. Like, I didn't do the last 2, so. Yeah, by the way, where did Judge Top 5 come from? I always wondered. It comes from one of Cole's like live reactions or something where he's freaking out about Sanji's dad being super strong. Lol. Sanji's dad strong. Lol. I don't think Zoro wants that big ass sword. Hell yeah, he's not Inuyasha quietly, so he might not want it, you know. Mihawk should be around the strength of the admirals. That's basically what I have him around. Didn't you have Weevil in your top 30 list, but he's not in the top 20? No, yeah, that's exactly right. I had him in my top 30, but not in my top 20. Precisely right. I'm surprised you remembered. Nice memory. Reason for being the fifth strongest and the series strat. She is part of the original crew. You know, the ones from East Blue. Is that it though? Like that's just justification? Just they're more important to the plot overall. Sargon is hilarious. He's got the fat Gimel point. Yeah, Sargon is nice. I like listening to Sargon. He's like he's just a good guy. He knows what he's talking about. The Shanks fall since Luffy says he wants to beat all emperors. Does Luffy beat him or Blackbeard kill him? I think it's inevitable that Blackbeard kills him. Harden was so below mid to me that I hope there's a stronger giant. Well, like as I said in my video, it's only the top like 0.1% of people in any race that are legitimately strong. So I imagine most giants are weak. I find Cole's videos entertaining, but I can't agree with him for a lot of times. For me, it's like I can't find his videos entertaining, and I already don't agree with him. So it's kind of hard for me to listen to Cole. I like talking to him, but it's hard for me to listen to him. Like his videos. Don't forget Sanji Grandkid. Yeah, that's just ridiculous. Ugh. Did Panda make 2 of the exact same video? 3 of the exact same video? Oh my god. He is milking this. Luffy cursed by Nidai Katetsu. Luffy gets a Yonko level weapon. Dark King Rayleigh, new sword student. Luffy crazy sword training. Oh, geez Louise. I love my boy Panda, but he makes... I don't know if he actually believes all of the videos that he puts out, or he just makes them just to get clout or something. Wanoshi is also one of the crew who has the most potential for it behind Usopp and is the first draw to realize they were weak in an anime moment, like, are pretty important. We'll see. I would like it if Nami was top 5 in the crew by the end of the series. You already know I would love that. We'll see, though. I'm not putting confidence in it. Do I believe Big Mom and Kaido fall in one, or do you think just Kaido falls and Big Mom falls to Elbaf? I think Kaido falls and Big Mom just shows up at the end of the arc. Because I feel like Blackbeard might show up at the end of the arc, and Big Mom might show up at the end of the arc. If you want to say it's being compared to Marineford a lot, so think of it like this: like Blackbeard comes at the end of the arc, gets something relative to his plan, things escalate. Big Mom comes, stalemate or something like that. Maybe an equivalent. You know. Big Mom comes on the shore. She takes Napoleon off her head. She's like, "I've come to end this war." Wedding cake. Or she just comes off the ship, takes off the hat, and just screams wedding cake. And like Sanji's already in the kitchen making it. I bet Luffy won't even know how to use the sword until he has a flashback of really showing him how to use the sword. Please, God, no. Kill me. Number 1 way to trigger me. I agree, Jiwa. I agree. You honestly think Luffy will kill Kaido? Let's not kill. Like, so, like, actually kill another creature. I'm gonna call him human being for now because it gives that moral incentive. I don't know about that. Big Mom says Kaido's gonna happen. Luffy and company can't handle him. I don't agree with that. Oda is really great at nerfing people who should be super strong. So he could nerf Kaido, but it would be even more unforgivable to me to have Big Mom. I would hate that. That would be so shit. Like, that's your justification. Like, oh, Luffy wins the Wano War because two Yonkos fought each other and basically killed each other. Luffy comes on top without earning anything. Like, that's not the way you should write your story. If that happens, I'll be disappointed. No. Please don't. I don't think we see Cat with Big Mom, but we'll see Smoothie. She was the only one not defeated. I don't think Smoothie's gonna do shit quietly. I don't think she was ever created to do anything. She was just created to fill the void of having another spot. ACB, just a memer, aren't you? Let's see. White Bear Beppo says, do you think Zoro should obtain one of the 12 Supreme Swords in Wano? I can't imagine him being the greatest swordsman without a Supreme Sword. If he's going to get a sword, it has to be in this arc. It's possible, Beppo, but my headcanon, my personal desire is like this. I want Zoro to make a 12 Supreme. Like, I want him to make like a 13th sword that becomes the Supreme weapon because of the way he uses it. Like, if you put it into the hands of another person, it's not as good. But if you put it into the hands of Zoro, he's a fucking god with it. I feel like that would be the ultimate compliment to someone who is an extreme swordsman. Like Kenshin from Rurouni Kenshin uses a reverse blade sword, which is not optimal, but he's still better than everyone because of how good of a swordsman he is. And it becomes like a legendary artifact. Does Blackbeard land the finishing blow on Kaido, or are we tag teaming him? This is my headcanon. The finishing blow will probably go to Luffy after Kaido's been nerfed, and it's like the 10v1 or whatever you want it to be. Kaido's defeating. He's not killed. At the end of the arc, Blackbeard shows up and kills him. Like, he's defeated, can't really defend himself to what he could have. Blackbeard kills him because Blackbeard doesn't like to work for anything. It would be your top 5 strongest supernovas from a strength standpoint currently. Luffy, Kid, Law, Zoro. Insert random character. Maybe X-Drake? I don't know. The 5th spot's kind of irrelevant. But I'd put like X-Drake there or something. We watched this video from a Chinese website today arguing Oda is saving Smoothie for Zoro. Unlikely, in my opinion. Yo, Drizzt, what's up, Willa D? What's with Chopper's role in the story? Is it only merch? Half of it's merch, not gonna lie. But the other half is, like, as I've said, and I'm actually redoing a video in the past talking about Chopper's dream, like I did it in the past. Really bad audio, really poorly constructed. I'm redoing it for this arc. Basically, like, I feel like Chopper's purpose in the story is to save Luffy from dying at the end. And I'll go into greater detail when I finish that video. For sure. For sure. Silver says, what's with Oda and his lack of female enemies for Luffy? He punched out Vita in the first chapter and afterwards never hit a woman again. He hit Vivi. Not an enemy, but, you know, fucking... Right? But, that isn't just strictly for Luffy. That's just for Oda, like SJW Drizzt. That's just basically Oda's entire female thing to begin with. which is a whole different conversation. Muddy Monk. Madazzle Monk. Luffy defeats Kaido. Blackbeard kills him, takes his fruit. That's the idea. That's the idea. Oh my, I see your picture. Which one? Joy Boy Sama? Oh yeah, Joy Boy. Yeah, hell yeah. X-Drake will poison Kaido's sake, rendering his hockey armor useless. No. Stop memeing HDB. What are the Marines gonna do this arc? Many possibilities. It kind of depends. Like, where do you... Like, so, imagine this, right? Reverie takes seven days. It takes 7 days for Reverie to be completed. They're not going to reach a conclusion probably until the last day. I mean, they're not going to take action until after basically the arc's already done. Wano will probably end around the same time that does. So unless they make a decision now and have people sent sailing to Wano, they might not even be there. So, depends on how you rationalize that. What are my thoughts on the red line will be destroyed theory? Here's my ideas behind this. Tie to kid. Tie. That's your alt account, I see. It's my theory. It's a really, really good idea. I believe in it, but something no one ever addresses is how the hell is that even relevant to Sanji as a character? Because the entire idea behind the red line being destroyed is like, that creates the all blue. What's the point of doing that if Sanji isn't involved? Like, that's his dream. He should be the person at the forefront. Like, the idea behind the destruction of the red line is like some massive devil fruit ability, or like using Pluton, which Pluton would only be relevant to Frankie and not Sanji. Like, where does Sanji get involved in all this? No one ever covers this, and I have yet to see it be covered. So, that's an area that needs to be addressed within that theory. It's a really good idea, though. Kaido has the Godzilla fruit. That would be so stereotypical for Japanese people. Oh, God. You feel like the Shogun's gonna have the hots for Nami? Why do you... Why? I'm not saying it's not... It's possible, for sure. I mean, Oda... That would certainly be something that Oda would do, but why? Well, yeah, that's true, Scott. That's true. But that's also indicative, and I've said this before, of the basic mindset behind the manga industry in Japanese culture, which I consider a huge flaw. Can you make Europe-friendly streams? I stream in the morning sometimes. It just depends. Usually I don't go to sleep until late, so I don't wake up until later. So, I'll try for you, though, Mert. Do I think Luffy is the last ancient weapon from Mihawk's quote? No. Us Swedish lads have trouble catching your streams. Understandable. I'll try to spread it around. Prediction for Queen King's bounty higher than Katakuri's would be my guess. Queen's might be roughly, I don't know, it's probably higher than Katakuri's and higher than Jack's, but not by a lot. They're probably all within the same relative range of, like, you know, 200 million of each other. So, maybe something like that. 300, 200 million of each other. Everyone has the hot tsunami, even Sanji's. quote emotionless brothers because they had emotion. Oda just wrote it like shit. But I mean, that's not really a justification. Like, why Orochi? That could be anyone else in the plot. Why Orochi? Like, you need to come up with some actual like logic behind why and why it's relevant to Orochi as a character. Which in doing so, you would have to bring up like Japanese traits or like origins, or, like lore behind Orochi, things of that nature. It'd be fun to have another Home Sweet Home stream when 10 or so chapters come out. Home Sweet Home is so good. I love Home Sweet Home. One thing I would love to see during this arc would be a team up of Sanji and Zoro. At some point in time, Oda has to do that. He can't run away from it forever for 20 plus years. Like, you had the pacifista. Like, no, that doesn't count, motherfucker. At some point, it's going to happen. Maybe in this arc, it would be great to see, to be honest. Like, if there's like a preliminary opponent, you know, or maybe they both have to combine to beat a Calamity or something because they're definitely not strong enough to beat one on their own. What's up, Victor? I can't see Tama being Nakama, seeing she's only, what, 8 years old. I would think Luffy learned from his experience with Shanks, not taking him. Well, like, I kind of mentioned this in my review, but, like, the people, like, they need to stop. Like, you need to come up with some actual reasons why she would actually be a Nakama. Like, there's very little justification for it. So far. It could change, though. That's not a good reason, Lucy. Come on. If anything, from your justification, it would be the other way around. It would be Robin as the person that Orochi falls for. But do you think Kun is like a better version of Killua? Yes. Did I hear about Horikoshi becoming ill with Ligma? Horikoshi's the My Hero guy, right? And what? I don't even know what Ligma is. What is that? Couldn't Oda have made Tama 17? I mean, he could have, but obviously he didn't want to. Let's see what a Gear 4 Luffy could do against a powerhouse like Jack. Yeah, I mean, Gear 4 is hype. I just wish we got to see more of it. See, one of the things I think is a problem with Gear 4 is that Oda has Luffy do like 3 attacks, and we're supposed to believe that it took 30 minutes for those 3 attacks to occur. Like, Gear 4 is over almost immediately. Like, people don't understand that, like, 30 minutes in a fight is usually the entirety of a fight. Lots of punches are thrown. Like, entire, like, matches professionally, like, done within, like, roughly around 30 minutes. He needs to show more. See ya, Burger. An art thread? Talk to the modes. This is like a meme art thread, I think. That doesn't really count, though. Ligma is a meme, I think. Oh, I've never heard of it before. What's the stream about? I mean, talking about Wano, basically. I talked about my life. Does Luffy get Gear 5 or Awakening at Wano, or maybe even both? I think he probably gets Awakening. I'm not sold on Gear 5. Also, I have to use the bathroom as per my normal because I drank some water. So we gotta find something to watch. Oh, is this where you got this from? Gonna get Ligma? Alright. People suck at making fucking thumbnails, dude. Every single motherfucker used this goddamn thumbnail. God damn. I will put on some Brago. I haven't watched this yet, but I'll be back.
What's poppin', guys? Back like we never left, and today I'm here to talk about One Piece chapter 912, but I want to talk about something specific here, and it's Basil Hawkins. So in One Piece chapter 912, Basil Hawkins, he approached Luffy and Zoro, and apparently he's about to apprehend them. Now, as far as Basil Hawkins and his companions, I have no idea who these people are, but someone had mentioned that one of these guys were with him on Sabaody. So as far as the strength of these other guys, that remains to be seen. For me, in my previous predictions and chapter discussion, I said that Luffy would curb stomp Hawkins. Now in this situation, Hawkins has 4 people with him, and it's just Luffy and Zoro, so they are outnumbered. But I'm starting to have second thoughts because I thought of a way that Hawkins could defeat Luffy and Zoro. And even before then, that doesn't make sense based on who Hawkins is. So quick backstory on Hawkins. Hawkins is one of the worst generation, has a bounty of 320 million berry, and his devil fruit has not been revealed yet, but we've seen bits and pieces of what it can do. The main thing we've seen is that he can turn into a giant scarecrow and attack people in some way. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but we've seen that. So apparently it's a scarecrow wizard type. We're not sure what type of fruit he has, but it's a weird fruit. We've seen a little bit of it. The ability that a lot of people care about, that I care about the most, is his tarot reading, right? The tarot cards, in which he can somewhat tell the future based on what he sees from these cards. He's somewhat of a fortune teller, right? When I think of Basil Hawkins, I also think of he's in the vein of Madame Shirley, in which he can tell you what's going to happen before it happens. Or in Hawkins' case, he can tell you the percentage of things happening, the chance of it, right? At one point in the story, he had mentioned that Luffy's chance of survival never goes to 0. Okay, so that just shows you that in some way he's accurate, because the plot is so strong that Luffy's chances of survival will absolutely never go to 0. He used his cards versus Kizaru, where he said his crew would not die at the hands of Kizaru or even the other supernovas. So for the most part, it's accurate. This tells me that Hawkins going after Luffy would not approach Luffy and Zoro if he did not see that he had a high possibility of winning. So off the jump, that tells me that Hawkins and the guys with him are going to win this matchup. Now, you're probably asking, how will Hawkins and this gang of hooligans manage to defeat Luffy and Zoro after everything Luffy has accomplished and everything we expect from Zoro going forward? It's a few ways. The first way in which I think Luffy and Zoro could be defeated is one, just sheer numbers. Those guys that are with Hawkins could be really strong that we don't know about. Say that's Hawkins' right-hand man, somebody from Kaido. We don't know how strong these guys are. From sheer numbers, they can be defeated. When I think about Luffy being defeated, I go back to Luffy versus the Enraged Army. It's a lot of people. It's a lot more people. I don't think they were as strong as like Hawkins level, but Luffy got overwhelmed by sheer numbers. Of course, this is right after a fight, so Luffy was pretty tired, and this is also after getting his face kicked in by Sanji. So, you know, yeah, that's a tough thing, but numbers overwhelmed him. The point still stands here. That's the first way in which these guys with Hawkins are just strong. Secondly, we have to go back to Hawkins' devil fruit. I'd mentioned that Hawkins can transform into a scarecrow, but I left out a part of it.
All right. What's up? I'm back with the sandwich. How's the video so far? Sandwich. Damn, you should have put this on 0.25 speed. You can no longer watch a Cole video without putting it on that speed for the intro. The intro for Cole is really, really long. Although mine's pretty long too, I guess. So. My thumbnails up to try it different this week. Good. I mean, it's not gonna show right away, obviously, but as I said before, voiceovers, you get more publicity. What's almost necessary is, like, for instance, theories are kind of necessary when you're first starting out, especially clickbaity ones, because it gets you views. Because you have to build up your audience to your content by doing things that they already watch. And also, what would help? I mean, I suppose it wouldn't. I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't think that would work with the rather low publicity you have right now. But if you could ever get to the point, like something that worked for me, and I wouldn't mind doing it for someone else, is uploading someone's video on another person's channel, if it's good, and then you can get subscribers from that. That's what I got from JB. They make a video, think it's really good, talk to someone who's relevant, say, hey, can you help me get this out? They agree with you. Hey, that gets you closer to your goal. Do I honestly want to see Luffy fight Hawkins or join an alliance? Personally, I like a little clash, but if they team up, it's understandable based on the story. If they fight, I want an actual fight. I just don't want a little bit of this little. This is what it could have been. So I kind of want Hawkins to join the alliance because I just don't see how him fighting would make sense with his character in a legitimate fight. This is a good sandwich. Chicken salad sandwich, man. Fucking good. Why is Barker acting like Luffy ain't finna turn Hawkins to a swift or jet mob? Because Barker understands that Oda doesn't care about continuity with strength. Luffy gets like randomly taken advantage of by people he should never get taken advantage of. Because that's the only way Oda knows how to hype up those characters. Trying to become a YouTuber soon. Any tips? Yeah, I can give you some advice. Sure, no problem. So here's the thing, right? Things that you need to do to become a YouTuber. I'm going to talk about One Piece. If you're talking about YouTubers in general, this is still relevant. Thumbnails are very important. That's the #1 way, especially when you're small, to get people to click on your video, as well as clickbaity titles. It doesn't matter if people hate you to begin with. The only thing you care about starting out is getting fucking views. Then you can care about your actual shit. That's kind of the point. Secondly, good mic. It will help you starting out if you have a good mic. Because voice quality is paramount and even more important than editing quality. You will notice right away and will not want to watch a video if it has bad voice quality but has good editing. Voice quality supersedes editing. Another thing, speak clearly. I have problems doing this sometimes because of my natural inabilities. But make sure you enunciate your words so people actually know what the fuck you're saying. Another way, like a benefit of doing this is it also prolongs your videos so you can reach that 10-minute mark, which is oh so important nowadays. Fucking hell. Like look, Bragos is 10:07. Had to reach that 10-minute mark for monetization. Especially in One Piece. It is a lot harder nowadays to get away with making good content without a good mic. Unless you're scumbags like Gear 5 or what's his like Blackfoot Sanji or whatever his name is, who make videos about literally every topic even if they don't believe them, which gives them no credibility as people. People who do that should not be taken as seriously as people who have legitimate content, because if you make a theory about literally everything, that means, I mean, why the hell should I watch it? You're just saying what people want you to say instead of being your own personality. But if you want easy views, that's how you do something. But if you want to enjoy your job, you gotta be yourself. Those guys are pathetic. That's why I make fun of them a lot. They're trash. Another thing, accent. Accent is very important. I've given tips before to people, like, if you are foreign and you are trying to appeal to an English demographic, your accent can basically be the deal breaker for if you get noticed. Like Indian YouTubers, like people with Indian accents have come up to me and said, how can I make my videos better? And I'm like, well, listen, you have to understand that heading into this, you are automatically at a disadvantage because naturally, English-speaking audiences will be slightly turned off by foreign accents that basically aren't UK accents. Just as a thing, it's not as pleasant to listen to, so you have to know that heading into it, and you have to game plan around it. Like, for instance, I don't think my boy Lando will ever be able to make it big with his One Piece channel because his Jamaican accent is so ridiculously thick that sometimes it makes him hard to understand him, and it's generally, as far as I can tell, it's not optimal in terms of quality of enjoyment listening to the accent. I have really never seen any One Piece YouTubers rise up like that. Like, here's an exception, but there's a reason why. So, Panda has an absolutely horrid and hard to understand accent, like from an English audience speaker, because he's native English speaking, but it sounds as if he isn't because of his accent, which makes it less likely to listen to. Your accent automatically puts that disadvantage as kind of rude. Yeah, it's rude, but I'm telling you the truth. I'm not telling you these things to make me feel better. I'm just telling you things you should know heading into it. It's just a matter of fact. If you have an English demographic, these are things that people are going to take into consideration. Yeah, Lando is quite enjoyable. Yes, I like Lando. The accents don't really bother me that much because I see past them because I'm looking for more quality than enjoyment. If I wanted enjoyment, I would be subscribed to many of the people who I consider lower tier theorists. If you want, listen, you have to be prepared. It's like if you're going into a certain business, you have to be aware of what makes you good and what makes you bad in that business. You have to game plan around it. It's like saying, like, if I go to Japan and I try to speak their language, but I don't have a mastery over their dialect, and I'm trying to speak Japanese and make Japanese videos, the chances of me succeeding are way less because, one, I don't have control over the language like they do. I can't say the words like they do. It makes a difference. I will be less popular, more likely. It doesn't happen all the time. You can find exceptions. There are always there are always exceptions to the norm. But those people are outliers. That's why there isn't a whole lot of diversity when it comes to this. There are exceptions, but there's not a lot of diversity to big name people. If you find someone who has one of these things I mentioned that I consider a detriment, like something you have to game plan around, it's probably because another aspect of their craft makes up for it. They aren't unaware of it. Like, if you talk to someone, they're not unaware. I don't know, man. I watch a weeb version of you. Well, you can't say that. You really can't say that, Prince, because you already know me as a person. So if I randomly change from like, you would just know me as a person. You know me as my personality, not as someone you're trying to learn. Think of it like this, right? if you are a new subscriber checking out a channel, quality and entertainment value are paramount for you even staying to finish the video, not let alone subscribe. It takes a lot to get someone to subscribe to a channel. More often than not, like most people, they'll watch a video and they won't subscribe. Like they'll have to see handfuls of videos that convince them like, okay, maybe I'll subscribe. Like something as rudimentary as clicking the subscribe button, it takes a lot to get people to do it. It's just simple rules to YouTube. It's hard. But you don't think there are like difficulties for people who are like lesser ethnicities rising to power? And that's always relevant. First and foremost, you have to get your shit good. You know, you have to be competent. If you reach competence, you have a better chance because you're competent of overcoming those weaknesses. But if you aren't as competent as you possibly could be, then it's gonna be shit. Like this. If you are someone who doesn't put a whole lot of work in terms of getting better into your content, but you expect results, chances are that's not gonna work out for you. Like it takes a long time, man. It's how similar is your YouTube personality to your real life personality, because I think we'd be good friends in real life. I mean, it's like this. Like, you gotta understand, whenever I'm chilling with you guys, like on the stream and shit, this is more the real me than like videos of me typically, because like you guys know, I'm basically a memer. In real life, I'm kind of just like a clown for the most part. Like I mess around, I get angry a lot. You know, like I'm just as quick to temper in real life as I am in streams about One Piece. Like that much to me is true. But like if I'm talking about the series, like it's something I'm taking serious. Like if you meet me in a casual atmosphere, I'm probably just gonna be joking around with you, making memes and putting one-liners. I'm also a giant fucking weeb, so you have to understand that too. Where is Yonko from? Yonko is from Australia. Gaining subs is a grind. It's hard, man. It's really hard. 5 subscriber milestone achieved. It's like that meme when it's like the kid got 4 subscribers and he told his mom and told her to shut the fuck up or something. People always meme and edit. I understand this. I stream on Twitch a lot and sometimes on YouTube, gaming mostly, but sometimes I'll read the chapters on streams when they drop, and I feel like a lot of people don't stay to watch because I have a bad mic and my accent can be bad at times. Yeah, I mean, like as long as you're aware of it, it just happens, man. It just the little things are usually the things that matter the most. Are you gonna meme me here, Brian? Am I sanctuary? How dare you? Who is my favorite One Piece YouTuber? Mine's are you and Brago. Mine's are JB and Brago, so we're similar. Those are by far. It's those two, and there's a huge ass gap between. I don't even know who my next would be. But I enjoy JB and Brago the most. I guess it would be Sawyer. Would be the next after that. But yeah. Other tips to being on YouTube. Well, like the first and primary, another one. Something that you know I don't do. Consistency with your uploads. Sometimes, even if your quality is bad, the more you upload can be better for you. Even if your quality isn't amazing. If people see that you upload consistently, then that's something they can rely on in the future, just to have something to spend time to watch. Thoughts on Roger's base? I enjoy Roger's base, but I'm not the biggest fan of his videos as of right now. I'll depending on the chapter, I'll watch his live reactions. I usually don't watch his reviews, and I usually don't watch any of his other videos, unless it's like a theory that I'm interested in. I like Roger, but it's like saying, like, I personally enjoy Roger, Cole, and, like, you know, people I talk to, like Matt, Dustin. Like, I genuinely enjoy talking to these people, but I'm not like the biggest, like, up-to-date person on their content. I more know them as people than I do as content creators. And that's the same for most of the big-time YouTubers. They rarely watch a lot of the other YouTubers' videos. Like, usually the big YouTubers will only watch the other big YouTubers' videos, and they won't watch anything else. Not Legend Mac. I do not like Mac's videos at all. I'll be upfront about that. Mac's a cool guy, but I don't like his videos. I kind of lost respect for him. Make another stream with JB. Actually, the plan right now is, I think it was Kumapause who posted this on a video a couple weeks ago, but I'm going to be doing a One Piece SBS series where I'm going to, from all the channels that are going to be involved in it, I only have 2 so far. If other people want to join in, I will let them join in depending upon who they are. I don't want to make it too big, but I'm going to have a One Piece SBS series where we take Q&As basically from the fandom, and it can be about the series or it can be personal, and we are going to answer them. And it will be similar to like One Piece volumes. Like, it'll come out like every 2 months or something. That's the plan so far. So far, I got JB Brago with me. So the 3 of us there are in the SBSs. I was thinking about maybe Roger. Maybe I can get Cole in there as well. It depends. Because, like, one of the things, like, I feel like it'd be cool because, you know, a lot of people wonder about, like, the personalities behind the image. And SBS questions, while a lot of it covers the story, there are also weird ones that also talk about the personality of the author. And I feel like that would be an interesting perspective to get to the fans of the community. So. Do I think it's practically impossible to make something new interesting just because there are so many videos out there, or worried about doing something repetitive from the other 100 channels? It is definitely hard, Victor. It's hard. It's doubly hard now because while the YouTube One Piece community has expanded, it's kind of enclosed at the same time, where we aren't necessarily looking at like lower tier sub people that aren't within the Reverie group as a focus. Like, for instance, if I start my YouTube channel now, as opposed to when I started before, I would never have gotten off the ground because JB no longer does the things that he did before. A lot of the big channels have gotten too big to the point where they can't do a lot of the little things they did before. JB doesn't read OJ theories anymore, so he would never have found me if I started off again. He rarely watches like a variety of content. Same with other people. Like, Brago doesn't watch that many people. Same with Roger. So it's hard to get out there. Like, I feel like probably one of the only ways to do it is to kind of do what Panda, Blackfoot does, and Gear 5. But you lose respect as a result. Canyon says, I have a ton of respect for people out there making a living off of this stuff. Even making something as simple as a chapter review, I found extremely time consuming. Yeah, because I mean, if you care about it, it should take time. That's generally the concept. See you, Lucy. Do you only hate Mac because he keeps using the same background music? No, I dislike Mac because of his content, and mainly his content. He does a lot of things that I do not think are good, as well as also sleight of hand to try and get more revenue, which I do not like. Nux has some good vids. I've heard people talk about Nux, but I watched one of his videos on streams. I thought it was really bad, but I'm not going to condemn him as being a bad content creator because I haven't watched a plethora of a big enough sample size of his videos to make any judgment. But seeing most of the titles of his videos, like I feel like I know what to expect. You only watch Cole for the chat reactions because that's mainly what Cole does. Cole's a reactor first and anything else secondary to that. Because it takes Cole like 5 days to edit the video. I mean, that's where you and Brago come in. You guys look at lower sub channels. I mean, yeah, for the most part, but like for instance, like you can't even include me because it's not like I've helped someone from the rubble become relevant. I haven't done what a lot of the other people have done. Like, I wouldn't even throw me in the same category as other people. So is one world still taking a nap? Yeah, he's done basically. He's done real life shit, and he doesn't have to drive to do it anymore. I do think there's potential to break into the community and get subs up if you can get into the Brago streams consistently and know your shit. Well, I mean, yeah, that's like, it depends on like what you consider like blowing up, basically. But why did I do this? Like, yeah, I'm gonna like finger you or something. Like, what the fuck is that? But anyway, but yeah, I mean, if you can get into the streams, you have a bigger chance. I'm not gonna tell you to watch it, but a lot of Nux videos are pretty good. Well, I'm not gonna tell you to watch it because I haven't seen a good video from his. I've only watched like one or two. That's not a good enough sample size for me to have an opinion about his videos. All I know is that the 2 videos I watched were really bad. I don't know what the rest of his content's like, so I'm not gonna judge him. Lost major interest in Roger after he started getting sponsorships. Does that make me a hater? To a degree, but like it's not really your fault because that's just kind of how the YouTube industry goes. Like a lot of the little things can make or break someone from being subbed to a channel because like they want their like it's a customer and this is an industry. You want your product right away. You don't want any of the shit that's in the way. It's understandable. It happens a lot, but like, you know, the man's making money, so I can't blame him. You've helped me? I've barely helped you, Silvers. Barely. I could have done a lot more to help you. Which is a Gen 2 theorist. Yeah. Gen 2 theorist. That would be a good way of putting it. Nux is like your alter ego in One Piece community because he does mostly satire instead of theories. I personally would love to hear him on a stream with you guys talking power levels or theories. Well, like, here's the thing, right? This is the line that you have to kind of tread carefully if you're doing satire. If you do satire, you run the risk of never being taken seriously because you don't even think that what you're saying is true. So a lot of One Piece discussion is based upon people having set beliefs and then arguing them. If you satire for the sake of satire and don't have an opinion, there's no reason to talk to you because you're basically doing it for comedy gag. Like in a constructive conversation, you would never want to talk to that kind of person. So that kind of leads to isolation. You have to kind of, I don't know if he's walked that line good or not, but you have to tread that line carefully. Zoro wins. Wins what, Laz, huh? Wins what? You rarely watch Roger's actual videos, but I find most of his streams to be good. I don't know. Like, sometimes I don't even watch people's videos just because, like, I just don't feel like doing it. It's not even like I don't even like them. I just don't feel like taking the time out of my day to watch it. It's like, it's weird. Like, I can be in a mood like that. But I like Roger's videos for the most part. It's just that I'm no longer into live reactions for chapters, really. So I guess that's an overall thing. It's more or less I've grown kind of stale to the content of that. Like, I watch Brago's because like I'm active in Brago's live discussion afterwards, and Brago's one of my favorite YouTubers. So like, I inherently get more enjoyment out of the little things from Brago because I know Brago more than I would know any other person. So like the relationship between me and him is closer. So I am therefore more prone to watch his shit. So there's that. He does satire analysis, no theories, but analysis, and they are really good in my opinion. Well, if you like him, then you like him, man. I ain't gonna say like, yeah, you shouldn't like that shit because I demand that you like certain stuff. If you like him, you like him. That's fine. More power to you. Triple L has some One Piece content. I was subscribed to him 2 weeks ago, and then I unsubbed to him. Hide and seek match, my boy Laz. You need to know One Piece really well if you're going to talk about it, especially theories that are made before. Yeah, this is something that like I wish people would know more of. So that like I wouldn't have to constantly bring it up. But like, let's say you're in a conversation with people that are like bigwigs. The chances of them having context to the theories and where they come from is really, really low. If you're talking about general ideas, people don't really like the major like heads don't know where those ideas spawn from and why people believe them. So like it makes the conversation last longer because then you have to explain it. You hate all theory videos. Better to be discussion and group theory crafting than just standalone tinfoil. What's the difference between group theory crafting and standalone theory crafting? Like I don't understand what's the hate behind theory videos. Like why? Like it's the same thing. If you're having a discussion, there's really not much difference. People headcanon all the time in discussion because that's where you see the story going. If anything, discussion has has more fake stuff than theories do, generally speaking. Sawyer must be your second favorite YouTuber. That would be Brago. Sawyer is the third, but you're close. Close. Triple L, is that Sanji's alias? Yes. Always feel like Tekken's reviews are basically narration, reaction, review of the chapter. That's why they are long. I can't get through any of his reviews, personally. I haven't watched one in a long time. Maybe they've changed. I would bet money on them not changing. But yeah. Honestly, can't remember even the last time I even watched a live reaction vid. It's like a video game walkthrough. So many people are doing it. Understand some people like it, just not for me, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's perfectly fine. It's not like you're an outcast or you should be demeaned for not liking it. That's perfectly fine. It's just, it's like, you can't make fun of someone for liking what they like. Unless they like it for a weird reason. Like, need context, obviously, but yeah. I agree, Laz. I agree. What was the main reason that everyone likes Sawyer? I mean, I like the guy, but he does very few videos, and when he does, he adds to the live reaction theory community. Honest question, because I like him. Well, a main reason is that he's been around for forever. So it's like a continuity thing, where it's like, as I said before, consistency means a lot. You are more likely to be liked if you are constantly putting out material instead of rarely, like me. Because you're kind of an anchor people can latch onto. Secondly, Sawyer is the perfect neutrality when it comes to One Piece. He doesn't say anything. He repeats information you already know, but you want to hear him say it anyway. He is never too over the cusp. He doesn't make bold predictions. He is usually around with the standard meta theories, which means that he's more relatable because meta theories entail that a majority of people believe in them. So if he believes in them and he shares the meta opinion of thought, people are more inclined to like it. And he has a friendly, he has a friendly face, he's good narration voice, and he's a nice person. All those combined make him to what he is now. Theorists usually get shit on in the One Piece community because their theories are wrong. What's wrong with having theories wrong? Like, listen, I tell people this all the time. It doesn't matter if your theory is right. The most important part about the theory is your logic constructing the world around that theory. That's what's important. It's not whether or not you got it right. It's like, well, what at the time, what logic did you go through to try and make this conclusion? Because it's like, okay, you have, like, you're reasonable, all right? This makes sense. Seems cool. Will it probably happen? No, because almost all theories are wrong. But it's the enjoyment out of the, like, the fantasy out of logic. For me, at least. You like Benevolent because he's consistent at least once a weekly basis. Yeah, I used to watch Benevolent and then I just couldn't handle him anymore. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why Benevolent's been in the game for so long. Consistent content. Laz is so high above us, he calls the mighty senpai Drizzt. Yeah, that's Laz's thing now. Yo, God Sanji Laz, man, that's him. He's the boy. Yeah, just but that's not the community's overall attitude about it. Concerning what? I don't really know what I just said. What was the context? Oh. Yeah. Whoop. What the heck? There we go. That's why you like headcanon discussion over standard theory videos. It's not taken so seriously. It's just a conversation about stupid random ideas. Well, that comes down from what I can gather, Kevin, to you not wanting to be involved in serious discussion. Like no stakes hold, like, oh, it doesn't matter if I'm wrong kind of thing, right? Well, that's kind of the idea of making theories. Is like you put your name behind something because you agree with it and you want that to be associated with you. If you don't want anything to be associated with you, then just like just a fun overall, no strings attached discussion is more your term kind of thinking. I think that inherently comes down to being competitive. If you are less competitive, you enjoy discussion more. If you are more competitive, you will enjoy theories more, maybe. In terms of being a content creator, at least. Check her out. Let's see, how do I get in the Daddy Drizzt slideshow? I need to add more people into it. Like I have the Roger face. I could add that into it. Make me realize I have more time I can do it. Drizzt, are you the reason Ty took his music off his channel? I was on his channel one day and Chillin' song wasn't on there. I was thinking the exact same thing, dude. I was getting Gunner, who was in this chat earlier, to try and listen to Ty's songs, and the Chillin' song wasn't there. I was like, no, he fucking put it on private. No! Oh. Maybe he heard about it through the grapevine. You never know. That's my favorite song, man. Drizzt, do you see any holes in the One Piece community that a new YouTuber could fill? I think Nux fills the satire and theory combo that doesn't exist yet. Sunpatch filled the girl theorist. She has filled the girl spot. Let's see. I guess it depends. I mean, I'm kind of, I feel the cynic spot. I'm the cynic. I don't know. I feel like there's probably a personality for everyone. Oh, what do we have? I don't know. What else is there? Oh, I mean, I have one in my mind. There is one in my mind, but I'm not going to talk about it. Ace of Spades, that's a good song. Fire song. Rainbow and white flag. God damn it. Hmm. I don't know. Why did Prago upload these videos to both of his channels? I don't get it. That is method of trying to grow this channel? Hmm. Drizzt, how do you think Zoro ended up in the Wastelands? Well, from what it appears to me, Zoro has been in the Wastelands multiple times because he's commented that he's been there before to hunt and that his stomach's hurt from it, so it seems that he just goes there. Good night, Drizzt. Sorry for hopping on so late. Just came from work. No problem. Don't worry about Unruly Jamaican. Don't worry about it, man. All love. My boy, last with the question. Goddamn. Do you think we'll see anything relating to the Shodai, Katetsu, and Wano? Probably, yeah. If I were to make a guess, Laz, that would probably deal with the heritage of Hitetsu. Brago has another channel. Brago's got like 2 other channels. Don Brago and BDA Law. Check her out. Edit faces on lunch break, Drizzt. I have a phone app. I have an app on my phone. I already have well, I think I have the Brago face. I have I have a JB logo. I have a Roger face. Drizzt, are you the D in BDA? I don't think so. I'm not that close to Braga yet. In terms of like Braga's right hand man appears to be Froob, as far as I can tell. Be in the mindset it would be Orochi's sword, but I'm leaning towards him having the Kusanagi sword based on his name. That's exactly what I was thinking, Les. That's why I didn't suggest that. Drizzt, you all should have a discussion on which devil fruit would be the absolute most broken in the hands of a competent wielder. I still say that sugars would be ridiculous, and like that conversation to me is kind of redundant because it goes with the assumption that people are competent being written by Oda, which is not necessarily true. It's like those kind of discussions I would probably tab out of. I would let the power hungry power scaling people handle that. So am I the second or third commander? This is what I am. Perfect analogy. I am the Mihawk to Brago Shanks. I'm not officially in the crew, but I'm known within the crew, and I have a close connection to Brago. But yeah, I don't know. I think I might end the stream here. It's already been like almost 3 hours. I'm running out of things to say. The chat's slowed down. So that's usually the time in which in streams I should probably stop when I'm ahead. So that's what I'm going to do, I think. So thank you guys for dropping by. Hopefully you enjoyed spending time with me. And hopefully you have a nice day, night, or rest wherever you are. I love you more than your family does. So keep coming back to me. And see ya.